It's time for Football Friday, sponsored by Independent Insurance Agents of South Dakota, South Dakota State University, South Dakota Department of Health, and Dakota Bank.
You're watching Football Friday on Dakota News Now!
Very nice. And those cheerleaders had a game that was worthy of a lot of cheering. Elkton, Lake Benton.
There's a lot of Elks around here.
Tremendous game tonight, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Welcome to another Football Friday. I feel like we're kind of turning the corner and starting to head down the home stretch, kind of like a horse race of the regular season, with several great games tonight. I'm Mark Overton.
I'm Zach Borg. We have several big-time matchups in South Dakota and Iowa tonight. 7 games between ranked teams, so let's get right to the highlights.
All right, we start in Brannon. That's where the second hosted number 1 Harrisburg in one of the games of the night. And like I said, we had several of those. First drive of the game, it's going to be Knuth to Fieldy on 3rd and goal, and Harrisburg is going to take the lead 7-0.
Sidearm sling.
Beautiful pass there. Now later on in the first, Brandon Valley tries to pass from their wideout, landed Delaney. Looks like it might be a touchdown, but it's picked off. Wow! It goes from being a touchdown to an interception by Jackson Prestholt. Second quarter now, Brandon Valley driving. They think they got a touchdown here by Delaney. It's called back on a penalty. However, 2 plays later, Levi Veskrina pounds in from the 2-yard line, just 12 seconds left in the half. Brandon Valley scores both touchdowns in the second half, and your final, the Lynx win a thriller. 21-7 was your final.
The 4th-ranked Jefferson Cavaliers made the trip out west to play the Cobblers of Rapid City Central. They were rolling the second half. Davion Simonson takes the handoff, busts it up the middle, and then spins at the goal line off a tackler and hangs onto the ball as well for the touchdown. Cavaliers up big. Cobblers trying to answer, drive deep into Jefferson territory. But watch this, pass in the flat, stripped away by Cooper Nielsen. Cale Knopfsiger scoops it up, and he is going places. Try the end zone, 80 yards for the touchdown, and Jefferson rolls to the win, 39-13.
That was quite a play. The 5th-ranked O'Gorman Knights, who darn near got me on this. I thought I was going to get right in the middle of this. I got a little too close. It was senior night, and they took on Rapid City Stevens. They would score quickly on this Talon Black to Dawson Bauer pass with speed, contributing most of those 42 yards at 7-0. Then it was power. Gavin Hamrick bangs into the end zone. It's 14-0 in favor of OG, but I saved the best for last. Sully Schlimgen, one of the best players in the state. Now watch how he combines a brilliant display of elusiveness, power, and then speed. All the way, 52 yards for a touchdown. That was a beauty. Final score, 48-0 in favor of OG.
And out at Howard Wood Field, great rivalry game between Roosevelt and Washington. Warriors get off to a quick start in this one and get used to this second name, Tommy Hoffman, tossing out to Jace Woods. Great catch, and it's 7-0. And Mr. Woods, as I said, far from done as they get tricky. Hoffman with the lateral to Woods, who is going to pass, and he finds Ralph Williams open downfield. He's got the touchdown. It's 14-0 Warriors on top. Still in the first. More from Mr. Woods, who will be on the receiving end of a pass this time. It's not going to be a lateral. It's an actual pass, and he will work his way into the end zone. Good moves from Hoffman as well. Woods doing it all, and the Warriors doing it all. They go on to win this one. The final score, 42-7, as we take a look at the full 11 AAA board. Again, you see your Brandon Valley, Jefferson, and O'Gorman scores, and Lincoln with the odds score up in Aberdeen, 53-2. They hit a 2-point shot.
Apparently. To T, where the number 5 Titans hosting this week's new number 1 team in 11AA, the Yankton Bucks. It was hunting season in full swing. The Bucks fumbling the opening kickoff, and Dawson Eimers runs up the gut to give the Titans a 7-0 lead. But after that, after Yankton got the offense going, watch this. Quarterback Easton Nelson to Carson Ness. Who's going to catch it? Oh, Carson does. Bobbles it, makes the grab, 7-7 Bucks. And then the offense goes wild on this play. 65-yard bomb to Connor Slaba all the way for the touchdown. And the Bucks remain number one with a big win, 28-7. Let's check out the other scores in 11AA. Spearfish lost a Pier tonight. How about that for the Governors? Watertown 35-24. Last game ever at Watertown Field is next Thursday night. Brookings 42-7 was your final there. Up next, a showdown in Del Rapids between the Coyers and the #1 Chargers of Sioux Falls Christian. We've got the highlight.
You're watching Football Friday, sponsored by Independent Insurance Agents of South Dakota, South Dakota State University, South Dakota Department of Health, and Dakota Bank.
And another one of the games of the night. There were a bunch tonight.
Yeah.
This was in Class 11A in Del Rapids, and that's where Cooper Seymour was, to see how the Coyers would do against the every week improving top-ranked Sioux Falls Christian Chargers.
Yeah, Mark and Zach, and the Chargers have been gaining more momentum each week in what has been an undefeated season so far, but Del Rapids has been getting better too each week. These two finally clashing here. Nothing going to the second quarter, and that's when Lincoln Prince is going to roll out to his right, looks and finds Cole Snyder, and he gets across the line there for 6. That'll start the scoring 7-0 Chargers at halftime. They'd come out hot in the next half. Prinz is going to pinpoint to Snyder again, and he's going to work his magic here, shaking off the defender, and he's on his way to a 60-yard score. Snyder had a couple of picks, too. It was a big night for him. And later in the third, they tack on more. Braden Whitty with the direct snap, gets in from 5 yards out. It's 21-0 after that, and that'd be the final as well. Sioux Falls Christian remains undefeated. Zach?
Scary that they're getting better each week. Thank you, Cooper. To Lennox, where the Mustangs of Tri-Valley tried to slow down the gunslinger of Lennox, known as Boston. Cats are wearing their camos tonight. Good luck slowing him down. Cats are, after a bitter back and forth, fires the short pass to Ramsey Williams, who makes it into a long touchdown as Lennox goes on top. We're just getting started. Cats are louding up to Talon Ike, and that pair was on fire as he breaks away for the 48-yard touchdown to make it 12-0. They even get an onside kick after that, add another touchdown. It was all Lennox in this one. The final score, 46-8. Let's take a look at some more scores in 11A. Again, your Sioux Falls Christian and Lennox scores. West Central big over Millbank, and Dakota Valley by 7 over Vermilion.
Yet another great matchup, this time in 11B, where #2, Sioux Valley, hosted #3, Point-Jefferson. And we know who this guy is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 94 yards. Donovan Rose is something else. He's one of our cover kids. We did an Athlete of the Week on him. He's the calf roper. But back comes Point-Jefferson running back Gunnar Ewing in for the touchdown. Huskies up 14-10 until Rose again gets the pitch down the sideline. What? Stops on a dime. Look at that cut. Oh, my goodness, is he fun to watch. He goes all the way for the touchdown. That's your game-winning touchdown. That might have been the game of the night, 17-14 in favor of Sioux Valley. Well, maybe not the game.
I got a pretty good one here, too. Speaking of this theme of games of the night, yet another big one between ranked teams. 5th-ranked Titans welcome in Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn, Central second quarter. Mount Vernon Plankinton driving. Isaiah Olson hands to wide receiver Tice Feisner. He takes it and will pass deep ball to Riley Meyer all the way down to the 1-yard line. Leads to a 1-yard Titan touchdown to make it 14-7 MVP. Same quarter, Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central will tie it up. Holden Havlick with the keeper to punch it in, tying things up at 14 apiece. Just before halftime, MVP looking to get the lead back. Brady Fox will take the handoff, run the ball into the end zone for a 5-yard score. A 2-point conversion made it 22-14 at half. That would be the difference in the game as they hang on to win a great one. 22-20. If we take a look at the rest of the 11B board, again, there are your two ranked scores between ranked teams with Sioux Valley and MVP winning classics. Not so hard for winner. They win 46-0 at Chamberlain.
Okay, another pair of powerhouses. They played in Elkton tonight. We'll have those highlights when we come back. And more great highlights from the 9-man ranks. We sent Cordell Wright to another awesome game in 9AA in Elkton between two very exciting teams. I told you it was going to be a great game. Did it let you down at all?
It was a blast, honestly, Mark. Both sides were fired up because it features two potential state championship teams, the Elks hosting the Chargers of Hamlin. It's a battle of top 3 teams in 9AA. Everybody was fired up for this one. First drive touchdown for the Chargers. Elkton looking to answer back, and they do just that with a handoff to Elliott Erickson. He speeds by everyone else. That makes it 7-8. That play earned a gritty here from the water boy. Still in the first. The Chargers, though, they hand it off to Mason Throwbridge, and he leads to a lot of green in front of him. Turns on the afterburner, 60-plus yards on that touchdown, making it 16-7. Hamlin then opens up the trick playbook.
Here we go.
Evan Stormo is going to get it up there. He finds Van Meteren, goes over top of the defender. This game was a barn burner. It ended 35-40 in favor of Hamlin. Looking forward to see them match up later on.
Yeah, that could be a fun one in the playoffs. Rest of the 9AA scoreboard, could see these guys too win more of those games as well. Parkston 68-18 at Gregory. We're going to be getting to that Viborg-Hurley game in a minute. TD ACDC big at Alcester-Hudson. Good scoring game though there. Now kind of spoiled a little bit. The number 1 Howard Tigers in 9A facing their biggest test, traveling to the number 4 team in 9AA Viborg-Hurley. Brady Schroedermeyer wasn't playing quarterback earlier this season due to some injuries. He's looking pretty good now. He even in midfield and scrambling before going out of bounds, hitting Brenner Gertis, who will take it all the way for the touchdown as the Cougars draw first blood. However, as you would figure, the Tigers storm right back with back-to-back scores. Weston Rimmers taking the counter handoff, lowering the shoulder and getting in, despite getting dragged down at the goal line. Second TD of the half for him. Cougars would tie it, but in the 2-minute drill, yet another of the many Howard running backs, Colt Becker, takes it to the outside, gets all the way to the 1. They rule him out, but they would punch it in on the next play. It was only a 6-point game in favor of Howard at half. They would blow this one away, though, in the second half. 48-14 was the final as we take a look at the rest of the 9A board. Again, your Howard score, Wall big over Lyman, Warner shutting out Leola Frederick, Woolsey Wessington by 2 over Kimball White Lake. Harding County Binding had a bye.
And finally in 9B, the Eagles of Sioux Falls Lutheran were still looking for their first win in school history. That's where my 2 grandkids play, and they would not get it today. They played Del Rapids St. Mary, a team that's certainly a
tough
championship potential team. They would score right there. Tremere Hansen to Lincoln LeBrun made it 22-0, and then Thomas Lavoie, he scoots into the right corner of the end zone. It's 38-0 at halftime. And then Jake Heinitz goes almost on that same path, cuts to the outside and scores. The Eagles did score, so they scored in every game this year, even though they finished winless. But it was their first year
they didn't
of
get
high
shut
school
out.
Football. Absolutely. On to the 9B scores. Avon lost to Freeman Marion, Freeman Academy. Falkton wins big. There's your Del Rapids St. Mary scores. Sully Buttes wins big as well. And Hanson beats
a baseball
Canastota.
score.
That's
High scoring
kind of
baseball.
odd score. Bragging rights were at stake in Lyon County in Iowa tonight. Zach has highlights of the Beef Bowl next on Football Friday. And welcome back. We head to the site of the Beef Bowl. What a great game this always is. Zach was there tonight.
Yeah, they were playing for bragging rights in Lyon County. West Lyon also trying to keep a perfect season. They've lost 3 in a row to Central Lyon. Remember last year's game only 7-0. They didn't waste any time. Again, only 7-0 with West Lyon getting shut out. Yeah, that didn't happen this year. Bryce Childress keeping it on the option, busting up the gut on their opening drive. 7-0 Wildcats. They kept scoring after forcing a Central Lyon punt. Childress giving off to Jordan Meyer on the end around, showing good patience around his blockers, getting free for a 53-yard house call. 14-0 after 1, much to Jay Roseboom's delight. He'd see more scoring in the second quarter. Evan Hildring taking the handoff this time. He goes untouched for a 28-yard score, 21-0, and then with less than 2 minutes to go in the half, Wildcats showing they can pass 2 on 4th and 11. Carson Hogeveen, 25 yards. Look at this catch by Meyer. Right. 28-0 at half, 41-7 your final. West Lyon wins for the first time in this rivalry since 21.
And they play in the playoffs, I believe, Friday night. All right, the Western Christian wrapped up the regular season at home in Hull against Unity Christian, and they would come out of this massive pile up with the football. Humanity. And the Wolfpack get the ball, and Jesse Haynen makes them pay, runs around the outside and scores. They go on to win 41-7. Let's check out the Iowa scores, shall we? Again, West Lyon wins big. Lamar's, Spencer, MOC Floyd Valley, Carroll, Cherokee all win, and there's the rest of your Iowa scores. By the way, the Lynx won tonight, forcing Game 5 on Sunday. How about that? Have a great weekend, everybody.